Hi everyone, as you can see from the title, today I am talking about my 5 favourite high-end makeup products that I own. I'm not saying that these are the best ones out there in the world because clearly I haven't tried them all, and there's plenty that I really want to try. I've mentioned them before in videos, some of the foundations from the higher end brands. But anyway, out of all the things that I own from high-end or have ever owned, these are my 5 favourite items that I would recommend. And although it was quite difficult to narrow it down to 5, the way I ended up deciding is looking at the products that I loved and then seeing out of those which ones I would either buy again as soon as it ran out, or I have bought multiple times or at least more than once. So a few of these things are repurchases, which to me is the biggest recommendation you can give for a product, because if you love it so much that you use it up completely and buy it again, then clearly that is for good reason. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is in the anti-aging formula. This is the full-size version. I think you can get minis, or maybe just as samples, don't quote me on that. So you get 11 mils and that is £28. So that straight off the bat sounds like a lot of money for such a small amount of product, but this will last you a long, long time. You need such a small amount that even if you use it every day, it will last a while. But I don't wear eyeshadow every day, so I don't put this on every day. So having used it about between 1 and 3 times a week basically since I've bought it, I reckon I'm only about a third of the way through, and I've had it at least 6 months, I would say. So you can tell that even if you used it every day, it would last you a decent amount of time for £18. The reason I love it as a product is it's completely, no, I was going to say it's completely clear, but it's not. But it comes out a cream colour, but it goes on skin coloured, so I think it's suitable for any skin tone to use. And it's one of those bases that doesn't give you any colour, doesn't necessarily add any dimension to your eyeshadow, but it just makes the eyeshadow stick to your eyelids so well. It definitely helps with creasing, and even though I've got dry skin, the eyelids are the one part of me that can be a little bit oily, and it does mattify them a little bit as well without being too drying. So this is an absolute wonder product for me. In fact, I don't use any other eyeshadow primers anymore. The only other one I own, let me think about it, is a Makeup Revolution one that I got for free, and I haven't really been using that, to be honest, and I've never even felt the need to try any others having bought this one. So let me know if there are any out there that you think are a lot better than the Urban Decay, but for me this is one of my top high-end products, and one that I will definitely rebuy once I've run out. Second up is from Hourglass. It's one of their ambient lighting blushes, or they call it an ambient lighting blush, and I've got this in the shade Luminous Flush, which is one of their more pinky shades. These cost £28, so in my opinion very, very expensive for a blusher. They are a pretty decent size. As you can see, the actual size of the pan is good, and I think it goes down quite deep because it's domed on the top when you first buy it. I don't know what the actual weight of this is. It says net weight 4.2 grams. Let me compare that to another blusher so I can see. So I've just grabbed a couple of other high-end blushes that I own. So I've got a NARS one here, and that has got 4.8 grams in it, and this YSL one has got 4 grams in it. So actually it's pretty average size for a high-end blusher. But that's worth checking actually, because a lot of the high-end blushes have a lot more product in them than the drugstore ones, because a few of the drugstore ones I've only got about 2 grams in. So that does mean you're getting better value for money than you think sometimes when you're buying high-end. Anyway, I'm digressing. So the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush, these came out a while ago, or last year, beginning of last year, and there was a huge hype and a huge sort of buzz around them. All the sort of big beauty bloggers and YouTubers were buying them and recommended them. It took a little bit of a time for me to jump onto that bandwagon because of the price, but when I was shopping in Space NK, actually my first ever trip to Space NK, I did succumb. And I can see what the hype is about. So why do I love it? You need such a tiny amount. I literally just dip my brush into it once and gently pat it onto my cheeks, and the colour comes off really well. So the colour payoff is amazing. The marbled effect in it means that you kind of get a highlighter and a blush effect both together without having to add a highlighter on top. I have got all these products I'm talking about on my face today, by the way. I did put a highlighter on top of this one just because that's the look I like, but I don't think you necessarily need a highlighter when you've got these blushes. They last all day. I've been wearing this one to work quite a lot because I've just rediscovered it lately and realised that I should use it more because I love it so much. And I get to the stage at the end of the day, especially if I'm doing a long day, I'm doing overtime and I go out afterwards and come home, where all of my other makeup seems to have faded away or gone, and I'm still left with this blusher on my cheeks. So it's really long lasting, really pigmented. It looks beautiful. I love the packaging and I love the marbled effect of the actual blush itself. So all round, £28, I actually think it's worth spending the money on. This is another much loved product in the beauty, blogging and YouTube world. This is Benefit Hoola. I've just got a little sample size here. So it's their cult bronzer that they have. If you buy this in the full size, it costs £23.50. I was going to say repurchased, but I have used up many boxes of this is what I would say. I bought the full size box originally. I went through that once, bought it again, went through that completely, and ever since I've been lucky enough to get little gift sets for Christmas with the little hoolas in. So I've actually got 3 of these at the moment, and haven't had to repurchase the full size since, but if I were to run out of all my little samples, I definitely would. It's just such a multi-purpose bronzer. As you can see, I've hit pan on this one, and even these small sizes last me a long time. It's not the only bronzer I use, so I can't say I use it every day and it lasts me forever, but I do use it at least a few times a week. So as many people have said, you can use it as a contour shade even on pale skin because it's got no shimmer in it. It's a nice sort of neutrally cool brown, and because you can build it up, you can use it on different skin tones as well. However, I also use it as an all-over bronzer. I also use it to body bronze sometimes as well if I'm feeling that my face is looking a bit darker than my skin, or I've got my arms out in the summer and I haven't got a tan. So I just love it. It's just a great product, and Benefit is a brand that I do get hits and misses with, but they're powder products in general, so their bronzers and their blushes are ones that I always really love. So that is one that I have continued to re-own or repurchase, and I definitely will do the next time I run out. My timing for the next product is pretty good actually, because this is a Make Up For Ever product, and this has only recently become easily available in the UK. They now sell it on Debenhams websites, and I think it's in Debenhams stores as well, but I'm not sure if it's all of them. But I actually first started to wear this about 3 years ago when I bought it when I was in America. So it's the Make Up For Ever Professional Paris Pro Finish Powder Foundation. That is a long mouthful of a name. I've got it in the shade 120, which is called Neutral Ivory, I think. Yeah, Neutral Ivory. If I were to buy this again, which I definitely will when I run out, I'll probably get a lighter colour now, because when I bought this I did actually have a slight tan. I never tan much, but I can still get away with using this colour at the moment. So it's sold as a powder foundation, but the reason I love it is because it is so multi-use. So as a powder foundation, you can stick a brush into it and you can put it all over your face, and depending what brush you use, you can get different coverages as well. So I'd say you can either get a light coverage or a medium coverage out of this. I don't tend to use it like that all the time now. When I first bought it, I did use it as a standalone powder foundation, but my skin has become much more dry over time. But even when I first started to use it, it was on the dry side, and I could get away with using this as a powder foundation, and it wasn't caking, it wasn't drying. So as a powder foundation, great. You can also use it, obviously, to set your makeup, which is mainly what I use it for nowadays. Today I've used it to set my under eye concealer. I love the fact that the shade range is so vast. I counted them just before I went online. I think they've got about 25 shades. So even though this suits me and it's 120, there's about 4 shades lighter than this. And usually when you're on the pale side, you just have 1 pale shade to choose from and that's it. And it goes right up to really deep shades as well. So it's a great product. It does come with a little powder sponge in there as well, which I actually really like. I don't normally like these sponges that come with them. But sadly, I was using this in a toilet, not in a toilet, but I was in the toilet topping my makeup up in the mirror, opened this up and the sponge fell out onto the floor, so I wasn't going to use that from then on, but it is actually a decent sponge that comes with it. This is, price-wise, let me check, £27, so it sounds like a huge amount of money for a powder, but when you consider that it's a foundation and a powder, and it is such a good product, I think that's worth the money. Finally, a product that you've heard me talk about before, but is much newer in my collection compared to everything else that I've just spoken about, and it's a MAC lipstick. There has to be a MAC lipstick in my top 5 high-end products, and this is Patisserie. The reason I chose this particular colour is because even though it's the most recent MAC lipstick I've purchased, it's the one I've used the most ever since, in terms of I'm probably about a third of the way down the bullet, which I'm not with any of my other MAC lipsticks. It was a purchase inspired by Anna from Viviana Does Makeup. I have talked about it before in my in my MAC lipstick collection video, which I'll link if you're interested. It's a frost finish, no it's not, it's a luster finish, so lovely and moisturising on your lips. Reasonable longevity, but not like a matte lipstick as you'd expect. But I love the fact that because of the neutral colour, you can just top it up without a mirror. Famous last words. I don't even have a viewfinder, so hopefully that looks decent. But you can just top it up without a mirror. Gorgeous, gorgeous neutral colour. It just goes with any makeup that I put on, and it's fast become one of my MAC lipstick favourites. And I definitely know that when I run out of this, I don't say if because when, I know I will, I'm going to repurchase that. Which rarely happens to me with lipsticks, because lipsticks is probably the thing I've got the most of. I haven't got loads and loads, but I tend to buy new ones and try out different colours and different shades and different formulas if I ever run out of a lipstick. But with this one, I know I will purchase it again, so that's another big recommendation from me. So we've reached the end. Those are my 5 favourite high-end products that I own. Hopefully my reviews have been helpful to you. Any major recommendations that you have, do let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to see weekly videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!